And we're back in Satisfactory. This is my second recording, picking up where we left off last time. Well, not exactly where we left off. As I mentioned, when I was shutting down, I was going to manually craft all my stuff into biomass and then manually finish up a lot of the production here because, basically going out and collecting biomass, right now, it's a pain. Let's fix that. So things that we could do. Base building gets us our foundations, which allows us to lay out our base geometrically, keep things aligned. It makes it so that it's easier to run a lot of lines in parallel. Your factories tend to be slightly more compact and better organized. And I really like it. Logistics allows you to do things like one miner, you can split off some of its resources to go to machine A and some to machine B. You can use multiple machines to make something and merge their outputs together later on. You can use lifts to send, rather than just ramping up with the belts the way I did with the copper, you can just bop it up to the next level. Field research is the MAM, which is your tech tree, and a bunch of other things that are interesting but not critical for us right now. Part assembly gets us new parts. This is going to be kind of a standard thing as we go up. There will be these entries where you put in a bunch of things that you've built so far. It teaches you how to make new things. Modular frames and rotors and all of that. Logistics Mark II is better belts and stackable poles. Obstacle clearing is the one we want. And that is going to require, let's see, screws and cable and concrete. We don't have the screws yet. I want to do this, and then I want to follow up with base building and logistics in short order. And these guys all need a lot more of the iron parts. We have a bunch of the copper already. Turns out that you build this up very quickly. So I'm going to tear down the copper base, and I'm going to use it as a center for building more concrete. I'm also going to automate the construction of the screws. So we're going to need that for obstacle clearing. Now we have these guys. Burning biomass is about 6 times more efficient in leaves than burning leaves, and it's a bunch more efficient than wood. When you're burning wood, rather than if you do the wood into biomass. Each one of these stacks will last us for half an hour. So we've got enough biomass in our inventory for an hour. We've got more in a box. So I'm going to do that. I think given how much biomass we've got, I'm going to start with the base building. So this is what I ended up with when I was done crafting. A whole bunch of biomass, a bit over 100 concrete. We've got some small miners over there. They're going to turn out another 100 concrete for us. I just need to go get it and craft it up. I've got a bunch of copper-derived things. Well, 1,500 wire and 350 cable. So we're doing pretty good there. We don't want to waste it, but yeah. But we need to get screws going. I think I'm going to have the screw machine be manually fed so I can control how many of my iron rods I'm using for screws. So I'm going to fire this up, and we are going to let our iron factory go, but I'm going to go pick up the copper from the far end. So let's see, you are going to be turned on. I turned these guys off. I didn't turn them both off, okay. Put the biomass in both of them. That way we don't get an immediate shutdown. And that's working. So, do I actually need to go pick up the copper? That's the next thing I'm thinking about. I can build a biomass burner. It doesn't take much in the way of resources. We could do that. I could build another biomass burner, add it to my power area, and then we could add in a miner for limestone. This is the way I end up playing on a lot of these games, is I will have a plan, and then the first thing I look at is like, oh, well, let's do a different plan. So constructor is all you need to make it concrete. So limestone to concrete is one step in a constructor. So there we go. There's our build list to build this little factory down here. I have portable miners. So I'm just going to pick up the miners. And instead of picking up copper right now, I'll let it run. And I will just go ahead and build this guy. We need a miner on him, and I want to have him coming nice and linear out east-west. Our foundations are all square, so I will tend to build square things. And a constructor comes off of his end. Add a storage container. We'll worry about relocating the contents of the storage container later. I'm going to add a biomass burner down here. I really should centralize the biomass burners eventually, but I don't need to right now. Holy Toledo, the biomass burners have a belt input. Oh, that was one of the pain points for me. Was you first of all, you have to go cut down trees with your handy dandy chainsaw and toss it in a box somewhere. It turns out the biofuel, and then you had to manually load the biofuel into the burners, and now we can do it automatically. I am going to get myself a bunch of biomass burners sitting on top of them. So our power factory at this point is going to be somewhere we have boxes where you dump in all of our leaves and all of our wood. Constructors to turn that into biomass. Another constructor to turn that into biofuel, which we will get shortly. And then run that into all the biomass burners. So you are going to get some biomass. And this burns 10 per minute. And it turns out 30 megawatts. So this is a much beefier generator than what we had back there. So back there it was 6.66 per minute, and this is 10 per minute. Leaves up at the base, it burns 80, this burns 120, and this turns out 30 megawatts. And how much? It turns out 20 up there. Okay. So I'm going to include this in our power grid. There we go. So this does mean, however, this only gets us 20 minutes here, as opposed to the 30 minutes we're going to last up there. And I forgot to configure him, so you are building concrete. Thank you. 15 per minute. We need 200. So between 10 and 15 minutes. And he is going to be running at 75% because this machine does 45 per minute. And this is a normal limestone node, which means we're getting 60 out of it. Now, I could have taken this belt all the way up to the main base, but I'm going to wait until I have a bunch of concrete and I can build foundations before we do that. See, we are already getting a bunch of this stuff. So what am I missing? I am missing the screws. And I was going to do that as a standalone unit. So we're going to do this manually. I'll just put it off to the side here for the moment. So you're going to build screws, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump in some iron rods. So this will get us 400 screws. And I don't think I really need to put a box on it, but I'm going to anyway. You know, seems awfully hokey to run all the way down there to pick up my concrete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another box out here. They're all going to be kind of higgledy-piggledy until we get the foundations going. Apologies to anybody who thought this was going to be a clean run. See, I'm going to let him drain like that. Anyway, he's mostly drained. I can do that. So I was not as clever as I had hoped. But you can go up to the top here, and now we have all of this. I think I can put one more machine down to take care of that 300 concrete. How are we doing for power? We are capacity 70, and we've got a lot of space. I can put down another machine just to do concrete for me. Production, constructor. And I don't have enough of the iron things. Need 2 more of these. I think. Or was I reading that wrong? I may have been reading that wrong. Constructor. What I want to do is put this one next to that one. but that's not going to be in the cards, so we're just going to put it over here somewhere. You're going to be making concrete for me. I can only put 100 in there at a time. That's okay. And we don't have mergers, so I can't send his output down there. I'm going to run around and grab everything and see if we are ready to go yet. We don't have enough concrete quite yet. We're getting there. I can pick him up. We need to stash these portable miners back here somewhere. I'll just put them in the box. What else am I not going to need for a bit? I don't think I'm going to need to refuel. So let's deliver what we can, and then we'll see what we've got left. $28. Probably going to have enough once I pick stuff up out of here. Yay! Yeah, base building is ready to go.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
This thing has been sitting up here. I'm going to pick it up. That's a flower slug. Did I pick him up earlier? I thought I did. Did they respawn now? That would be interesting because having to budget which things you've got. Oh, there, little boy. Having to budget which machines you use the power slugs in was kind of important. Yeah, that's the second one I've picked up. I thought it was that one. It might have been one from somewhere else. And that must be our delivery capsule returning. So the next milestone we want to work on. We've got base building. I still want to get to obstacle clearing, but I want to be able to automate my biofuel almost immediately when I get there. So we're going to go logistics next. So that requires plates and rods and wire. And we may already have most of what we need. We need just a few more rods and we'll be able to do this. So these milestones are just dropping like flies for us. It probably helps that I'm being a little organized.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fix-It encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
Fix-It, kind of an evil company. Still, less evil than Intel. I'm going to continue to just grab everything out of these guys. And we need to fill him back up. So what have we got now? I have some concrete. I still got cable to build power lines with. I've got a lot more copper. Our copper just keeps turning out the wire. This is going to be a huge resource. We're going to need a lot of it later, I believe. I hope. I still have some limestone. We've used up a lot of our rods. We've got a bunch of screws. Don't think I'm going to need to refill the screw machine. We will leave you here. In fact, I think I can probably put you on standby. So as far as building is concerned, we can build biomass burners to create electricity. And as we note, those now have a belt input. So we are going to convert over to biomass burners and stop using the ones on the base there. Power, logistics, we now have conveyor lifts, which are going to be great when we start building up foundations. We can lift to the next level up and down. There's holes. I don't see any hole to place. I don't know if you just run the lift through the floor or not. Splitters and mergers, so we can organize our factory a bit more. Lookout towers. We'll be able to look down on everything from above. Foundations. These require, 5 concrete and 2 plate. And that's constant no matter what size it is and whether you're doing ramps or knurls. Walls are 2 concrete and 2 plate, and we've got a little floor railing thing at our basic walls. Next milestone. Now, field research gets us a map, as we start going further out, we'll want that. We'll also want to be dropping a box, putting things in boxes. We're going to end up with a lot more stuff than we want to hold on to. Object scanner, it allows you to find things, apparently. And this is research. Okay, so good stuff. But I really want to get the obstacle clearing going. So we have the 500 screws and the 200 cable, and we almost have the concrete. This machine is still running for us. That big rumbling sound, first time I heard it during early access, it kind of scared me. Then I realized, just Fred. Fred saying hi. Yay, obstacle clearing.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be if you construct, automate, explore, and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated fun, fun, fun.
So we now have a chainsaw. And it needs the new kind of fuel. So I'm thinking that now is the time when I start building my actual power center. Let's see. What am I going to need? I am going to need 4 constructors. So a constructor to turn leaves into biomass, a constructor to turn wood into biomass, and those 2 will feed into constructors, each one of which turns biomass into biofuel. I'm going to do 2 of those, just get a little better throughput, and we'll find out what the balance is later. And we'll merge that together, and that'll go back into a box. We are going to need 3 boxes: wood in, leaves in, and biofuel out. I am going to build some biomass burners. Let's start off with 4 of them. I'm going to put them up top. So this will be a 2-level building with biomass burners above. And we are going to need a bunch of foundations. Let's assume that we need like 20 foundations. We don't need any walls, but I'm going to see if I can build the walls too. So, in order to build that thing, here's our shortfall. We need iron. We need more iron plates. We need more iron walls. We need more concrete. Remember, I was talking about how I wasn't going to refill the screw machine because I had more screws than I could deal with? Well, guess what? We need more screws. potentially we're going to need a lot more screws. How are we doing here with our loose concrete? This is empty. We don't have any more stone to do with, so I am going to pick this up. So we still need rods. And now if we look at this, we can build this stuff. We'll come back later because there's obviously some things I haven't planned. I'm going to put our biofuel factory down here. Kind of not next to the actual miners, not next to whatever it is that's over there. It looks like more stuff. So let's start with some foundations. Now, if you hold down control, it snaps it to a standard grid, and it looks like we have some choices here. I think what I'll do is I will put my corners in with this foundation because it's going to have fewer standard grid. Where is it? Okay, it looks like indeed this can be at various levels. And let's just use the 4-meter grid for the floor because there we go. So the idea is we have a box of each kind of fuel input on the left and right, and then in the center I'm going to have the box with the fuel output. And it's going to be routing, its output is going to go up. So I want to set this guy so he's dead center here and just lapping out a little bit. This way, if we put a wall in here, it would just have the front showing out. The other two I'm going to flip around. I think I'm going to put those centered on the foundations as well. You could actually build this a little more compactly, but there's no point in saving a fraction of a cell. And that guy's going to head upwards because, do we have it? Logistics. Yeah, I'll have a lift on that, taking that up to feed our generators, and we'll put that in later. Foundations. So the first thing we do with our incoming stuff is it goes into one of these guys. I am going to arbitrarily say that this is going to be for leaves. And this is going to be for wood. let's mark that for now. I don't have any with me. Okay, no problem. At some point, I will work out what I want on my hot buttons. Haven't done that yet. So for now, I'm just picking everything up from here. So these guys are going to be turning out solid biofuel. Let's take a look at the rates. So we're going to be bringing in 120 liters per minute. How fast are our belts? We may be limited by belt speed on this one. Conveyor belt Mark 1, so 60 resources per minute. So leaves are going to be eating 60 leaves per minute until we get better belts, which means we're going to be turning out 30 biomass per minute from here. And that means we're going to be running this guy at 1/4 power and turning out his solid biofuel at some low rate. This guy is 60 wood per minute to 300 biomass per minute. Well, that's only going to be 60 biomass per minute until we get a better belt. And that's going to be running at half speed, so this is going to turn out some biofuel. So yeah, I think having both of these machines here is a good thing. The alternative is I could put one machine turned around facing that way. We would then be limited. Would that be bad? We'd still only be turning out 30 biofuel per minute. Let's do that. Let's make ourselves a little more compact this time. So there is a way to pick something. Sample building, middle of the mouse button. There we go. So if I am in build mode, I can sample something, get him face the right direction. I'm going to put him right between these guys. Just like that. I have been playing too much stationaries lately. I keep wanting to turn on my jetpack. And this constructor is going to be making our solid biofuel. So nice and compact. And what am I missing? I am missing the, these guys are going to stick out the sides. So the other way to do this is to go one wider and place these on the edges so they don't stick out the sides when you put a wall on. I am not going to worry about it. So we want to do a merger. And we want to rotate it so that its singular output goes into this guy. Now, if we just drag that, it's kind of an ugly curve, but I can drag it the other way and back it off by 2 steps and get a nice, nice rectangular layout. See how that just goes out like that and in. Now I could have moved the merger in by 1. You can start pushing parts together, clipping them together in some ways. I'm going to not do that for now. So power. This guy is, of course, going to need power. So these two are going to be hooked together, and we need to hook to that one. So I'm going to bring it over to here. And there's one connection left on this, which is going to go somewhere to get us power input. And that somewhere is going to be out here. That's called an arbitrary decision. And now I need to put in a ceiling and start putting in my generators above us. Walls. Basic wall. As mentioned, these guys are going to stick out the side. And this guy is going to want to send something up, so I'm going to put a wall in here. Too high. I am not sure this is going to be high enough to clear the... Okay, we ran out of fuel up there, so we'll let the factory just sit for a bit. So if I build a one thick foundation underneath this level, that's not enough headroom. I think I'm going to go spacey on this. Oh, you don't have to be in build mode. You just middle click on something and it picks it up. Oh, that's good. I am going to pick my thin foundation for my ceiling. We're going to need a way to get up there. Also possible that I need to go get more concrete. We may have to refuel the main base. So how am I going to get up to that upper level? Well, we're going to need a ramp. We don't have any other way of getting to the upper level other than ramps right now. For now, I am going to just continue to use the biofuel as I have it, rather than sitting there and turning out a bunch of... I could craft up some biofuel, but I'm going to wait till we've got it automated. So what happened was my generator down here ran out of fuel. And then the other generators didn't have enough power to run the base. See what happened there? He came down and a spike in my power needs was high enough to drive it above this level. While we're paused here for a moment, let's gather our resources again. Notice we're building up quite a lot of wire. I'm going to leave most of my wire in this box. And we're going to stop grabbing wire until we need it. We're also not making cable. So if I run out of cable, we're going to have to go do that manually. So the top level there, it's not that much higher than this. So I could make a walkway coming off of that. Not a bad idea, actually. It would mean relocating some of this crap. I'll bring it over here and then ramp it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll bring it over and I'll bring it up to, say, this promontory over here. How far away can I build from? Oh, that's nice. Hey, Fred. Okay, so now I'm going to do 4-meter ramps. I need to anchor that at the top, not the bottom. Poop. There it is. As I get more parts, I can make this pretty. This also means that I can take it off that way and take it up to there. So now, logistics, conveyor lift. So this now comes right down the middle, and I'm going to set up splitters to feed generators left and right. Let's put the generators in place. I think they take up exactly one. Yeah, it looks like they take up exactly one of our foundation pieces. So now we want splitters. We want the input coming from this way, so it's this orientation. And this is the first time I have ever used the belt feeds into a burner, biomass burner. I am excited to just see this work. I won't have to actually touch the biofuel. It'll just go right in, and we can extend it off that direction as far as we want. Now these guys, as we extend that, I have to work out how this is going to work. I do want to bring him directly up. That way his cable comes right down through his thingy there. Those are set up. Well, let's connect this to our main power grid, which will give us some starting power. You can see already that I like keeping things on these nice grid edges. So now we just have to put some stuff in there. Notice that our max consumption has gone up because we added some machines. Production is still the same because none of these machines have any fuel in them. So I need to go get some materials. And that's low enough. Oh, and we're done with this thingy on the lower right that's telling us we need, we're going to be using some concrete and iron plate to build foundations and walls. We're done with that. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to seed the first two machines down below with biomass. I am going to need to grab some biofuel for my this machine right here. I need to grab some biofuel. So let's do it here. So I need the solid biofuel for the chainsaw. And I'm going to need enough chainsaw fuel to go cut a whole bunch of wood and leaves so that we can get this whole power system just kind of working. That should be enough for now. You guys can start fueling up our guys above. So switch to single mode. So now you can cut down just what you are pointing at in case you're like, you want to keep the shrubbery, you want to cut the tree, you could do that. Or you can go area mode. Which cuts down the tree and all the stuff underneath it. Let's get some stuff. Area mode does not chop down the pale berries. Yay! I am suspecting that in single mode you could prune it away. For instance, if it's in a bad place in your base. But I like my pale berries. Oh, hello, Mr. Bean. Oh, that was odd. I wonder if he was in the area. I didn't see him. So we're basically going to clear out the trees that are near the base. That's kind of our starting fuel. I don't think I'm ready to go into caves yet. So you can still pick up stuff manually when you have the chainsaw out. Unauthorized hostility detected. Okay. It's like he has turned around and gone the other way. It didn't get close enough to him. Good. And that was an achievement of some sort. Let's see if I can see what that achievement was that I just got. Heal this, nature. Destroy 1,000 foliage. Okay. So let's see, what did I pick up here? I picked up quite a lot. So we are going to go feed our fuel factory. Notice our generators up there are now online. The splitters assured that we got some into each one. It didn't split evenly across the 4, but a third of the fuel went left and right, and then a third went back to the back. Those guys got a sixth each. This guy is our wood. So I want to put one wood out front to say this guy is wood. How do I? No, right click cuts it in half. Oh, there we go. Split stack. So I can drop the one and control click to put the rest. Same thing here. This is for leaves. So we right click and hold to get the split stack. Drag that to the left. Drop the one. Actually, I was wondering how to get a mouse, but I realized we do this. I can just go into edit the to-do list and I can say clear list. And now we toss all of that in. I'd like to recycle my biomass. So we could put in another box back here and have it feed into this. Let's do that. Organization, storage container. Gonna center you here and put you like that. Kind of casual, not a nice 90-degree bend, but you get all the biomass. And since we will be creating no more biomass by hand, once we have dealt with all the biomass, that'll be done. Boom, boom. We're not saving any of that. We're not saving any of that. Or that. So these guys will shut down. And the rest of this. And the rest of the wood. So far we're still loading the biomass, loading the biofuel into the generators as fast as we can produce. It'll do that until we have saturated everybody. So the downside is to get to the top, I currently have to go around here. I don't have any stairs. I don't want to build the angled ramps as a long-term solution, so I'm going to leave them ugly like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab half of your fuel. I'm going to grab half of your fuel. And that's going to leave me with enough biofuel for my needs for the future. For a while. How's power doing? Currently, we have a capacity of 150 megawatts. And if all of our machines are cranked up, we'd be at 64. So we're doing good. The biomass burners look pretty much the same except for the belt input. That's good because I like the way they look. We have no way to get I mean, I could put a foundation in there and it would just kind of go through. Do I care that there's not an official hole? From the above, it's not bad. From below, it will do until I can put an official hole that goes through the foundation. So we've now automated the power. We still have to manually go out and collect wood and leaves, but we now have a chainsaw to do that. I need to finish getting rid of this power pole. So this power grid goes back to here. So what have we automated? As mentioned, power. We've got concrete. We've got wire, iron plates, iron rods. We can make more screws as necessary, but I didn't want to turn all of our rods into screws. We do have the splitter now, so I could put a splitter in. Yeah, let's put a splitter in. Can I, in fact, put a splitter right on there? And the answer to that is yes, indeedy. So now we will continue feeding this with iron rods. We are not yet setting these guys on foundations. I need to build up a lot more resources before I start actually reworking all of this. One thing I could do is drift a splitter into there, and I could end up with two machines building rods. But now we're getting into actual factory planning. And when I get into that, I want to do it on top of these foundations. Cool. My next step, I think, is just to let this guy run. Let it accumulate resources. What can I do while it's doing that? I could sit and chill. I could go get more wood and leaves. I could explore. So field research. That gets me a map. Yeah, let's do some field research here. And I actually have resources for that already. Yay!
Milestone reached. Supply the molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, with local resources to research and develop new technologies. Potential technologies include exploration tools, weapons, and factory buildings. These are essential for maximizing your Pioneer efficiency and alignment with Fixit's core pillars: construct, automate, explore, and exploit. To advance Fixit's mission, all notable phenomena, resources, technology, or other influence should be investigated regardless of any perceived danger, as stated in the Pioneer contract.
Okay, that opened up the molecular analysis machine, which requires a couple more reinforced plates. I am just going to toss this back here somewhere, higgledy-piggledy. Part of me says we need to rip all this up and lay it out properly on foundations once we get the resources. The other part of me is saying maybe this part of this base forever stays wild. And maybe somewhere else I do a better base. So what can we do? Alien megafauna. Oh, let's go grab our research stuff. Maybe I can unlock some interesting things. Take all. Sort. Alien megafauna. First of all, hog research requires 3/1. I believe that means I have 3 and it requires 1. Hatchet research, don't have any of that. Stinger research and spitter research, okay. So those are apparently called hogs.
The remains researched belong to an organism now dubbed the fluffy-tailed hog. It has many characteristics that would likely classify it among the Suidae family were it native to Earth. Hog remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving Pioneer safety during exploration.
Okay, so that opened up this. So I make 5 of those proteins and I can, okay, we can expand our pocket dimension, hog organism detection. What have we got here? Alien technology. So when we find some SAM, we can find more. Mercer sphere analysis. Ooh. Because I had a Mercer sphere.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, B, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us a song.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life.
Whoa.
While Fixit has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
Whoa. Yeah, okay. Dimensional depot. And Summers loops. Okay. Nutrients. Barrel nut.
This fruit, dubbed the barrel nut after its distinctive color, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
And pale berry.
This fruit, dubbed the paleberry due to its tendency to stay light in color even when ripe, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
So the nuts and the berries are now our way of healing. The nuts restore half a segment and the berries restore a full segment. And these mushrooms, we don't have any of those yet. Power slugs. We've got 2.
This semi-slug, now dubbed power slug, is early in its life cycle and has retained only part of its potential energy storage capacity, giving it its blue color. Power slugs are capable of extracting latent energy from their surroundings, including through a form of photosynthesis, and preserve it in their porous semi-crystalline shell over their lifetime. This explains why they rarely move after having found a suitable location.
Okay, so we can spend some resources to unlock him. And this guy's going to require some things we don't know how to build, and they're in the middle. And this guy requires us to build a shard and spend resources, and this allows us to overclock our machines. That will come in handy, but I'm not going to do it quite yet. Sulfur.
This unknown chemical element was in reality an unusual mixture of solid sulfide and sulfate materials from which sulfur can be extracted. Sulfur's primary use lies in fertilizers, which we have no use for. Instead, this element enables access to more volatile obstacle clearing and pioneer defending tools.
So, black powder, Nobelisk detonators, or tool belts. Experimental power generation. You need a bunch more sulfur and looks like some things I don't know how to build yet. We also have some unknown metal, fungus-like growth, and a crystalline mineral that we haven't gotten any of yet. So that's the MAM. I'm going to leave some stuff behind that I don't need right now. I'm going to drop the wood in the factory that needs wood. You stay here, you stay here, you stay here, you stay here. So we are now all set to go explore. Looking down the lower right, I've just realized my picture is on top of our hints. We have hints on how to do things here. Let me... Yeah, that's good. So we have an M for map. So this is what I have seen so far. I'm here at the hub. I have looked around a bit. It is topographical. So here's the cliffs that I was looking at when I came in. And you can see a lot of stuff. So it shows you everything you can actually see from where you've been. Apparently, we have seen that there's a lake up here. And from the hub, we've got this. This looks like our normal visibility range. I don't know. How are we doing for resources here? I'm just going to leave everything in the boxes, but I want to see what's in the box when I do it. We are not yet making cable. I think what I'm going to do is when I get to like 5,000 concrete, I will start making a significant pave over areas. Maybe we'll do it sooner than that. So we're not yet making cable. We are making biofuel. I want to carry it. I want to carry my health items. And we're going to go explore a little bit. I'm going to go take a look at what's over here. So I want to head down this way. And we are going to bring back a whole bunch of wood. Oh, hello there. Where did you go? Gotcha. Now, we got injured earlier. Apparently you heal over time, so I'm not going to worry about using my edibles until I get fairly low. Oh, another power slug. And this gets us a beautiful view. So that's the area I was going to explore over there. It looks like we've got copper and iron. I could build a second base over there using a lot of concrete. Let's go take a look at it. I see some barrel nuts. There we go. We're headed this way. I think these barrel nuts respawn. So if I grab them now, it means I'll have a decent stock and I can maintain my stock. Okay, limestone. I'm going to leave the outcropping there because that'll be the easy way to find the mining node. Ooh, it's another fluffy-tailed hog. Hello. Gotcha. I remember mentioning when I started this playthrough that, I set the animals to passive, but I didn't. And then I was going to go back and change that to passive later. I didn't. Whee! Okay. So down below the cliffs, looks like we've got some iron. Normal nodes, so 60 there and 60 there, as opposed to the 30 and 30 that I've got, and another normal, so there's another 60. So down here, this flat area, lots of iron. Nice. Looks like there's a way up there. Limestone? Limestone. 30 limestone per minute. Okay. And that's just a sulfur rock. It's not a sulfur node. Still, we need some sulfur to do some research. There's a red glowy thing here. Why was this all red and glowy? I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. So this is a good time to figure out if I could actually pick up, actually cut down these pale berries. Yes, you can. I don't know if they come back or not. Okay, so this is the end of that sloping area. We're going to head back up this area here. Oh, I left that on single mode. There's that planet moving quickly across the sky. So the planet is, yeah, the astronomer in me is very puzzled. Looks like we have some iron ores and a fluffy hog. Hello, Mr. Hog. There's another Mercer sphere up there. Okay, I'm going to have to investigate this place. Cut some of the trees around it so I can see what's going on. So we're looking for a route to the top of that. That looks like a possibility. Whoops. Oh, it's a possibility, but I can't see enough stuff. I can't see well enough to do it reliably. I was able to get a ways up there, though. I probably just missed a switchback. You know what? I could use one of these if I brought the parts with me. Okay, we're going to come back with parts, and I'm going to build myself a ladder if I can't get up there. Wonder if I can cut some of this stuff away. No, none of it's cuttable. Keep thinking that there's a way to climb wood. Trail obscured in the foliage. Yeah, let's come back when I can actually build. I'm going to build up to it instead of trying to parkour up to it. But we saw that this has some iron nodes. It's impure. So this is a 2 impure node starting area again, which is okay for a starting area. I got this whole flat area out here. I see a fluffy-tailed hog. More hog remains. And he was guarding a copper node. Okay, so we're over here. We've got some copper and some iron in this direction. I know I should be scanning for this stuff, but it's a lot more fun to just go out and run around and see it. There's my base. There's my copper. I think if I head that way, I can go across that bridge and I can avoid the green smog. Yeah. Well, let's fill in a bit more. Ooh, another slug. Cool. Oh, what do we have here? Couple of fluffy-tailed hogs, and looks like somebody didn't manage to land. One of them is coming at me. We're gonna get both of them? I hope not. Did you? No health bars, so no way of knowing if his health reset. I guess the other guy wandered off. Oh, there he is. Okay, what do you... Concrete... Cable... A rotor, which you don't know how to make yet. Drop pod needs 40 megawatts. Well, can I actually build some power? I am missing materials, so I have to come back with materials. There. I have placed a question mark on my map. He looks a little different. Is that the, yeah, I think that's where I have to cross. Yep. Hold on. Off to the left. Ah. Not enough space to pick up leaves. Oh, wow. I have filled my inventory, so it's time to actually go back to base. We're fighting him. We need something to drop. I'm going to drop the rods because I got a bunch of them back at base.
effigy has no song, only echoes, but it is part of a river. Why does the effigy avoid the windows?
Attention! Your brain's operations are outside typical parameters. Time spent daydreaming will be deducted from your sustenance budget.
So now we need to make our way back to base. Oh! Two of them, and they look angry. They look bigger, too. That guy's a little darker. I do not like the look of him. I'm going to run back the other way. And they run faster than I do. Well, now there's only one of them, but I'm at half health. I think I'm going to come back with better weapons. And we're going to head home as best I can. Hey, some more sulfur. Let's grab it on the way. So our factory is still running. This biomass burner should be empty at this point. Yep, it is. So we can pick it up. But first I need to deal with inventory. Everything else is still running. So leaves go in there. Oh, we emptied the leaf drawer. And wood. And we have actually filled up all the machines above, and we've got some extra fuel, so I can carry a full stack with me now. What are we looking like in the container? Okay, let's grab a stack of that, a stack of that. Did I get everything? Iron sheets. I didn't think I... Yeah, I did grab a stack. A little bit of everything on me. We're going to grab all of that, and we're going to go back to the MAM again. Ooh, barrel nuts are ready. So, we didn't find any hatchers, stingers, or spitters. I may have run away from one. This is going to require 5 of these things. Alien protein.
Research completed. Alien protein can now be turned into biomass or alien DNA capsules. In addition to being used for research, the invaluable alien lifeform data in these capsules can be traded for fix-it coupons at the Awesome Sync. We guarantee the best capsule to coupon exchange rate anywhere on this planet.
So we can make DNA capsules and turn them in for tickets for their store. This requires 1,000 cable, but it'll get us some inventory slots. We are not automating cable yet, so that's a no-go. Alien tech. "11 SAM fluctuators." So that's waiting on SAM. Might be time to actually do this.
Power slugs extract latent energy from their surroundings to sustain themselves. By tuning the object scanner to the particular potential energy signature, it is now able to locate them against the background environmental static.
There. I'm actually more interested in underclocking than overclocking, so my machines use less power.
Overclocking development completed. Power shards can now be inserted into all buildings to increase input and output speed. Underclocking is also possible. Note: power consumption of overclocked buildings increases exponentially.
Okay, so that's what we can do at the MAM. What is our next thing we want to? We've finished Tier 1. We've done obstacle clearing in Tier 2. I think what I want to do is actually build a foundation-based factory before I start getting into the rest of Tier 2. Which means this is probably a good time to take a break and let the factory churn and turn out huge amounts of stuff for me. I am going to do one thing. I'm going to add a machine to make the cable coils. We're going to add one of these guys, which means I need to make some reinforced iron plates. And we'll just kind of shove him in here. And he's also going to need a box to put his output in. And a splitter. And I need to get you some power. And let's preload you with a whole bunch of wire. There we go. So we have enough power to keep this thing going for quite a while. We have automation of, I think, almost everything, or maybe even everything I'm going to need for a bit. So now is a good time for me to let the factory run. I'm going to just sit here for probably the next 3 hours doing nothing, so I'm not going to bother to record it. So I'll see you when we come back with the next bit of recording, when I start doing the next interesting thing.